urgency. Material life resists entropy by constantly consuming itself. And as part of the circle of life, you may be required to consume other entities. This is natural. This is good. Atop the physical and survival and internal sensate levels of survival are the social relational all right. First guys, there's a survival layer. Okay, this is the biochemical shit. All right, if the vehicle isn't gonna, it'll crap out if you don't maintain the survival of the vehicle. On top of that, there is a social layer. It's a lot of the ways you end up getting your survival needs met is by interfacing through the social layer. Now, you get it because it feels so good to be a human. If you do an interaction on the social layer that gets a physical need met like really well, the vehicle readies itself and programs itself for more of that automatically. And that attachment is sometimes experienced as what is called love. Love is where, this is a hard one. Now, as I was explaining the layers last time, the stream was terribly rudely interrupted, and we've had some dramatic changes in the interim. First, there's been the addition of the selfhood layer, which is the one that feels really good, actually. And also the heart dye has been updated to a much more visible limey green. For tonight's part 2 of HURWITZ and the TLC stream, also known as Elite Class Populism. There was a short IRL stream in the interim I know you didn't miss, but that card was blessed with the Ace of Clubs. We'll be drawing a new card for tonight's Part B stream, but first, tonight's savings throws. The first rolling of the fancy new orange and the upgraded heart green die. Here, let's see. Oh, you were explaining heart, weren't you, old buddy? Love is where... Okay, so we have these bodies here, and they are us. We are so attached to their function, what they do, what we say. It's very attached. You see, they're us, part of us. When you love something, it's part of you. You make it part of you, and like it might not be. It's obviously not also physically part of you, but like you are also made of this social layer self. And those are the relationships you've constructed with the other entities. And those become part of yourself. And your favorite ones, you say you love. And if they get ripped away, it really, really hurts because all of the wiring that has gone into that connection, it has to be destroyed and repurposed. And that is experienced as like the opposite of a sense of urgency. You're gonna love it. You're gonna love it. That's my entry into the Alien Salience Project, a collaborative playlist where we describe what it's like to be human to an alien in an attempt to better understand each other. Tonight's savings throws, you get the choice of survival, self, social, wisdom, or heart. If it's over 10, you take half damage from the mind control. If it's under 10, you take full damage. Bonuses for chatting in the hive mind, +2. Usually. Choose. Survivalists with a deuce. That's a 2 for you. Socialists coming in hard with the selfish sons of the disciples for you. Socialists, folks, that's a 3. Lovers of wisdom, gonna need your bonus. That's an 8. 8. We have a 9 for the hearts. 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9, 9 for the hearts. And Indigo Kids with a Baker's Coven. A Baker's Coven for tonight's extra special. They interrupted the stream last time. Let's try again. Elite Class Populism stream. The HURWITZ and the TLC. Welcome, welcome. I am your host, Grimgrace. And Josh Garrison has already honored us with the Fancy Pants Super Chat now that we're past the monetization portal paywall. Jasmine, howdy, howdy. Gotta go self. Well, that's disciples for you tonight. Right along with the other Sith. The others. Now, let's see what the card for the rest of the show is, and then we'll get back to where we started from. The last half of the HURWITZ and the TLC Elite Populism stream. I hadn't even gotten really into that part yet, but we're getting there. We're getting there. There's 12 tabs to go. 12 tabs to go. And since it's weird now with Super Chats working to put the Buy Me a Coffee link at the top, though it's still functional and gives me a better percentage, I've decided to put the LARP Gate store link at the top where you can find such fancy products as the Fallen Version Goose Hoodie official Goose sticker for only $4.88, the Fallen Version Goose Hoodie, the Rascal sports bra, and the Denim Moore's Denny hat, all available at the link at the top of the chat. Tonight's card is this. The 2 of spades, 2 of spades, but we're going to go through with it all the same, all the same. Hey, look, with the purchase of the dies, I got this fancy little guy. He's special. You go over here, you're special. All right. Oh, yes. Where we were was discussing these layers. Great here. Oh, love it. You love it. See, you'll become attached to it. You'll think of it as part of yourself. You'll love it. You'll love it. And when you learn to do that without hurting anybody, they call that the wisdom. Okay, so it was about at this point in the stream when Chad asked us how many layers are there, and I wanted to remind him of this masterful saying by Sean Vervaeke as clipped and captured by yours truly in the video Penetrating Truth. Vervaeke and Peterson. Hey, Neutrino. Hey, Mo.
Propositional reduction is inadequate, insufficient, and it's groping for the closest thing at hand. And the closest thing at hand is what technology makes salient to it, which is power. We have to go deeper. We have to say, no, there's a place for that. And your situational awareness, the states of consciousness you get access to, ultimately depend on your character.
Well, that's a lot to swallow.
Yeah. No, there's a place for that. And your situational awareness, the states of consciousness you get access to, ultimately depend on your character.
Well, that's a lot to swallow.
And I hope that answers your question, Chad, of how many layers there are. I'm aware of about 7, and I've heard rumors of 12, but personally, I can only attest to the dice I have. The dice I have. Oh, that is a lot to swallow, McMo. That is a lot to swallow. Turn off the branding. There we are. Back to this. Welcome to this elite class populism stream where it's our honor and duty to remind you that Space Force is entirely real. Here is their website. Never a day without space. For over half a set, Space Force unveils the Guardian Spirit Handbook. I'm not done with that. Space Force released the Guardian Spirit Handbook that provides guidance to Guardians on how to live the 4 Guardian values: character, connection, commitment, and courage. Remember, Embody, Space Force, it's entirely real. Welcome to this virtually not alone experience. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And in hopes that to make you feel more virtually not alone, we have with us Stumps, who says, "Glad you're reprising this. I think Hurwitz in the corner matters." RR says something involving numbers. What the hell are they guarding? That the core values of courage, commitment, and those other things, probably. Mostly not working with. I guess it proves my centeredness for being no problem with her. And then there's been a book reading. I guess this guy's an author. I don't know. See what happened. What are we there yet? No. And we're at the wrong page now. So we have to find that very fast, or play some branding. That sound means.
So this is how bad I have failed this evening's throws for mind control. Dum dum da dum da da dum da da dum da da dum dum da da. Da da dum dum da dum. It's that bad. And whoosh.
Whoosh! Neutrino from the Hive Mind says satellite warfare sounds less enchanted than Space Force. But remember, Neutrino, we're moving into a more and more enchanted realm, and it's important that you all know that Space Force is entirely real. Entirely real. Look, there's even contact information. I needed to inform you that as I research and my continued efforts for our Deadlands stream, masterpiece crowning achievement of LARP Gate Year 3, that I stumbled across this little section in the Deadlands book that says a general is supposed to have a lieutenant general and a major general and a brigadier and a colonel and all these guys underneath him to help him figure out what the heck to do. And I don't even know if we have a sergeant. I just that occurred to me, and I just thought I would share because I'm a member of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency. Hello. I see the assassins have failed. And so while it may be foolish to admit I don't know what's between me and the sergeant, it's my sacred order to do so. Now to move on to our main topic for the evening, this elite class populism, Hurwitz and the TLC. Now,
Don't worry, Mom. I know all about cannibalism. I saw it on TV.
See? It's okay. We saw it on the television.
Is everything all right in here?
Yes, Nanny.
All right. So how this whole series of this particular stream, elite class populism, Hurwitz and the TLC came to pass, is that while it was hidden behind the secretive paywall, Pastor Paul decided to address all of the criticisms we had of Hurwitz well behind the paywall in secret. And so I was like, well, first, let me see if I can watch it.
Now, what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
So the task is fallen upon to me to make a video about Hurwitz and the TLC for everybody else that's not outside the paywall. And for that, I begin my tirade with this masterpiece from back when. What's it called? It's called Elite Contempt.
It's the ethos of 4chan. You know, who am I?
He served podcast with my daughter, Michaela Peterson, twice. I think that's an admirable moral principle.
What you are saying, to be the opposite of Kathy Newman in this context, is accurate in that a lot of powerful people are there through inertia, are there through nepotism, are there through corporate memes because they play the game.
Hail Hydra.
There is this elite contempt. And to some degree, it was associated with the political class. But on further analysis, it's not the political class.
Right.
It's the chattering literati, the chattering educated literati. And
So there was the first Papa Peterson primer for Hurwitz and his involvement with the TLC, in my humblest of opinions. May they continue to do so. Thank you for the super chat ups. Neutrino, welcome. Everyone who knows, the only thing required to be a member of the Sacred Order of Foolish Transparency is to be aware that the call and response of membership is hello. I see the assassins have failed, and of course, may they continue to do so. Colonel Mustard in the library, while hilarious, is not part of that. Oh, we can't play that anymore, Mo. It takes the commercial money away. Now the second is this it? Yes, the second encounter we in the TLC. What it had with Mr. Hurwitz is in this following video. Mean tweets and apologia. If you share the tab instead, that doesn't happen. Share this tab instead, and now make it big.
In wooden language. You're not supposed to be speaking.
Well, let's go to the dream then here. So this is a strange thing to do in the middle of this conversation, but it makes sense. Like, one of the things I did learn as a clinician, and certainly in my own marriage and in my own life, that often, if you are fortunate, during a time of query and crisis, let's say, indeterminacy, now and then you can get a dream. And if you're lucky, the dream will reveal things to you that are part of the answer to that problem. And that's not that surprising, because dream is a form of thought, and the dream thought is trying to solve problems. And so it just turned out.
No. So first of all, you're bringing in something that I think is very important, which is no, not at all. No, to no. Across cultures that say no.
I just thought I was playing too much of that in a row.
Greg came here. He had a dream, which is a very comical dream. And so Jonathan and I and Greg sat down and talked about this dream a bit, and we thought we might discuss it in this forum. One of the things I learned from Jung, and I believe that this is true, is that dreams are the voice of nature in the deepest sense, and they don't lie. Now, you may not be able to figure out what they mean, because the dream.
Now, to say all of those things is like priming you for how to interpret what they present to you as a dream, which could, as far as you know, have been written and crafted for your consumption. Roll your saving throws.
Dream is trying to figure out what things mean. And so you have to translate the dream just like you have to translate a work of literature. But the dream at least has that sense of objective truth in the deepest sense. And you can really rely on it. So do you want to lay out the dream a bit? And then Jonathan, you had some really good.
This is so funny. It's like, it's like for a liberal, Have your dream analyzed by Jordan Peterson on the World Wide Web for the Daily Wire. It's like,
and for only people like Grimm to highlight it months and months later. Let's see. Let's try with this part, maybe.
Union of the two traditions in the highest sense. It's a cloister where you can explore ideas.
And so part of this is it's like, so the best of conservatism and the best of liberalism, when they live together in that
That's
way,
the humanities.
it's perfect.
Yeah,
It's
you
the
bet,
humanities.
you bet. So that's where you worked. Yeah.
Right. And so I'm in a forest, and it's dark and nightmarish, and it's stark, and it's like dead branches that cast long shadows, and I'm walking through it.
Well, that's a great image, because the dead branch is the dead wood that should burn off, and it's casting a long shadow. So that ties into the whole shadow issue. And it is dead branches that cast the longest shadows and grip at you when you're walking through the forest. And so that's a great image.
That's right. And so I'd love to take credit for it. So as a writer, I'm like, yeah, it's wonderful, but it has nothing to do with me. But so then I arrive at this place, and it's so interesting. And it's like, so this is all offensive, but we're going to talk it through. So
I don't know if we should. But we will.
You're there, and you're like hillbilly you. You're more hillbilly you than you are, I should say. It's a different gradation of hillbilly. And you're still dressed in your like Boston Celtics leprechaun outfit, but it's like
I don't really like it when you reduce Northern Albertan hillbillies to knit.
Nice cover for the leprechaun outfit, because the leprechaun outfit was what stuck out to me at the time. Because around the same time, I was watching Lex Friedman, because Jean Vervaeke had just been on there, and I was yet to score my talk with Jean Vervaeke. And this, what I saw there, what became known as the Velvet Leprechaun in my head somehow. And so, here's some of that.
About kindness and love, and I feel like I'm sometimes get like criticized for being naive and all those kinds of things, but I feel like I'm just trying to live within this game. I'm trying to
be authentic.
Yeah, but also like, hey, it's kind of fun to do this. Like, you guys should try this too, that's like trying to redesign some aspects of the game within the game. Is that possible?
I don't know, but I think we should try. I don't think we have an option but to try.
Well, the other option is to create new companies, or to pressure companies or anyone who has control of the rules of the game.
Oh, this is a bit where they're talking about Moloch. And I think that for a community of people aware of the spiritual warfare going on in the world, that we don't address the entities and understand the forces and spread the knowledge of those forces is a failure on our part, and our defense against the dark art duties to the newcomers to our arena and flotilla thereof.
I think we need to be doing all of the above. I think we need to be thinking hard about what are the kind of positive, healthy memes. As Elon said, he who controls the memes controls the universe.
He said that.
I think he did. Yeah. But there's truth to that. Yeah. There is wisdom in that, because memes have driven history. We are a cultural species. That's what sets us apart from chimpanzees and everything else. We have the ability to learn.
LARP. We have the ability to LARP and LARP hard, and share those memes together, and so that is one of the key things I took away from the encounter, the reminiscence, the appearance of HURWITZ in the corner. And now the topic of the conversation in the top secret Pastor Paul video behind the paywall was elite and class and populism. And some of this defining of the elites I would like to do in your head. And I think it's important that we call them elites if we're going to refer to them as elites, because the way we define elites and to to mimetically let ourselves refer to them as anyway superior, as elites, like the light beer of L's or something, is, I think, inappropriate, as I think it feeds their power and myth when we do so. And but we, thanks to the Fringe Encounter series, have a little bit of informations about what that sort of life is like.
Ring around major cities, right? And they do travel soccer and travel lacrosse, and take a nice vacation. They drive nice cars, but all of the resources are ordered toward getting their kids kind of positioned so that they can be in, they all know that, of course, like at Harvard and those kind of things are probably not going to happen, but they can put them in these sort of nice fancy places and position people and have them rub the bright shoulders so that they'll be fine professionally, right? So that's the sort of the world, the official world that I am a fringe player on, right? So so I am teaching this very old-fashioned old books type thing to them, and they love that, right? They
So the students at the layer above us are getting taught by people like Cale Zeldin, well, the people down here, and the wealth and power and the information should flow according to the beast system, which is, if you don't eat the lion eats you, and then we're all in trouble because the lion becomes the man.
I believe that if everyone sees what just a few people become when they wholly embrace their gifts, others will awaken.
Now, I just got this notion to say that the worship of scientism is a low-key worship of the process of evolution, which we knowingly intervene with in the hospital system. And while we look at evolution as a theory or as just the capacity of things to change over time to better adapt to their environment, let me introduce you to the concept of slavery and evolution, and how one could go from having to whip the people into doing what they wanted to having them choose their own owners in a free-range slavery system, and how that varies from the caste system one might find in a place like India, where you are born and know that you're going to be untouchable for your entire life. In a class system, in the free-range choose-your-owner labor market, in those environments, it's upon the product itself to train itself up to its own potential for gain in the system. And it's really a lot less management hassle than whipping people. It's more mimetically efficient. And I don't know. There was more, but that's all that came out. I hope you enjoyed it. Remember it.
There's no agency. We walk past.
Now, you might be wondering why this video. Hey, bongers. Yes, but I can't or shouldn't or something or disclaim it. I don't know. It matters a lot how much the sun is shining on the general, says McMo. And as night falls here, I guess that's true. Good to see you, Mo. Good to see you. All right. So we got the Velvet Leprechaun, and we don't talk about Moloch enough. We got the Vervaeke saying from the Alien Salience Project. We got Space Force is real. Let's hit that Vervaeke saying one more time. Hey.
Yeah, makes salient to it, which is power. We have to go deeper. We have to say, no, there's a place for that. And your situational awareness, the states of consciousness you get access to, ultimately depend on your character.
Well, that's a lot to swallow.
Yeah.
The lion is a lot. That's also a lot to swallow, right? Cursed is the man whom the lion eats. That's a lot to swallow, but blessed is the man who eats the lion is also a lot to swallow. Don't forget, Embody. Don't forget, Embody. Space Force is entirely real. The Daft Ladlers joined the Royal Air Force at the Royal International Air Tattoo, for Pete's sake. They joined them at the Air Tattoo, guys. It's totally real. Space Force is totally real. And then, oh yes. The reason this is called HURWITZ in the TLC is because now that Pastor Paul has established his membership availability according to YouTube.
Now what'll that asshole think of next? Is anybody got a dime? I don't know.
He has mysteriously, up upon this paywall, landed himself a conversation with this HURWITZ cat, which he presented to the TLC as the longing for a generous American unity.
Almost everything. You know, it's just we have these loud, screamy extremes who are freezing everybody in a state of pluralistic ignorance in the middle. It's a cult term. One of my books dealt with mind control cults, and I went undercover in a cults to research it. I do a lot of in-the-field research. And so that stood by me very well when things started to get loose in the...
Oh, do you, Mr. HURWITZ? We have welcome. Remember,
there is no agency. We want what's best.
The political, cable news online discussion, like not only could my brain go to, George Orwell and Animal Farm, it could also go to kind of cult techniques, removing people's access to outside information. You want to pare away people's relationships in a community that don't involve pure believers. So seeing this sort of, this aerosol approach where everybody's in their own silos. I was just watching the process and how politics and the news and the heave and roar of social media was naturally doing all these things. One of the other key...
It was naturally doing it. It wasn't orchestrated and administrated by intelligence agencies and foreign operatives. It just naturally did it. Meanwhile, Pastor Paul behind the paywall confesses to us all his new status in this secret clip.
See, now I am part of the elite. Where is he? There he is, down there. He's not blowing anything. Anyway. Oops.
Meanwhile, we have news from Twitter that we're losing people left and right as they're disgusted with TLC just being a bunch of belief blowers, blowing hard about their own beliefs rather than acknowledging the situation of the world around us. And they demonstrate to us thusly the content of character one disciples themselves into in the pursuit of a life following Christianity. Maybe. That was a little harsh, man.
I'm attacking the darkness.
Thank you all for being part of my small world network, and have a lovely evening.
Like you give people propofol, you take them out of consciousness. It's a general anesthetic. And as you bring them back in, what you can see is when they're unconscious, the brain breaks down into local networks. And then when they become conscious, it reconfigures as a multi-scale small world network. And that, of course, lines up with Tononi's theory in some pretty important ways. Or a similar way.